Hello, welcome to the Sobriety Bestie Podcast. This is Kirsten. I am your host and your friend, your bestie up in here. And we are going to go into another daily dogma detox. If you're new here, I was in Alcoholics Anonymous for 10 years. I've been out for 5 years, so I'm 15 years sober, and I am finally feeling comfortable to talk about leaving AA, how hard it is, and to just be really honest about the entire process, what it was like, and to let you know that there is life on the other side, and can be very difficult to leave, and there's a lot of us, and we can get free. So diving straight in, I want to talk about today why it can be so hard for the people inside AA to leave, to believe that we can leave, and even the pushback that they give us when we actually have the courage to trust our intuitions and leave ourselves. It's all about trusting our intuition. If you feel that you need to stay, stay. If you feel that you need to go, well, then maybe that's something to consider, right? My intuition was like, get the F out of here. So I did what I could to leave. Well, it was more like a quick decision, and then I just left. But here's the thing. AA culture cannot fathom that you can leave the group and stay sober and thrive. Like, they can't even see it. They indoctrinate us with this false narrative that to leave means death or essentially impending doom, right? Jails, institutions, and death. So the ideology, the AA idea system, because it's not facts, it's ideas, Bill's ideas, hinges on this very thing right here. Otherwise, the entire system falls down, or they'll gaslight you and say that you're just not a real alcoholic. And so when they do this kind of a thing that they say, you're not a real alcoholic if you don't fit our narrative, that's what's called a closed system. It's where if you prove the system wrong, they claim that you don't qualify anyway. It's a mindfuck. And none of us are really aware of this when we're inside the system. So they kind of have to shun you. Not everybody, but there are some of them that do, or they have been doing that with me. They shun you when you leave because otherwise it's like a threat to their identity. It's like a psychological death. It's brutal. It's brutal when somebody is a living example that contradicts what you actually believe at your core. You can't accept it. They have to be wrong or abused or they're not a real alcoholic, right? But at the same time, this is also a huge awakening, and it's a big unlock to your next evolution. So if you leave, and especially if you talk about it, yes, they'll probably unfollow you, they'll unfriend you, or worse, they will come straight at you, parroting the nonsensical ideology, trying to indoctrinate you back with the nonsense that they genuinely believe. They think that they are helping you. They cannot see that they are, in a way, possessed by this ideology and that they are trying to control you because they care. They think that you might die, but you also are representing a death to them of their belief system. What you're saying can't be true. They literally cannot see that it's safe for you to leave. It will feel all kinds of feelings, but you know what you feel led to do, and you sure as shit can trust yourself, despite the years of being programmed to betray yourself. Because that's what happens to a lot of us inside the rooms. We are programmed to betray ourselves. It sounds like things like, you can't trust your thinking, your best thinking got you here, or to outsource your autonomy to your sponsor, to the group, to a higher power. We are literally programmed to betray ourselves and our self-esteem stuffers as we stay inside Alcoholics Anonymous. Let's call this what it is. This is complex PTSD, CPTSD. Because if we think of it like a romantic partner that told you daily not to trust your thinking, to outsource your autonomy to them, otherwise you'd die, you look back at that relationship and you'd have some feelings about it. You might even say, that relationship was a little bit toxic feeling. Anyone or anything that tells you to not trust yourself, in my opinion, is toxic as fuck. Run, run. It's a sign to run. You can trust yourself. I feel like now where I am today that if I can't trust myself, I have nothing. If my intuition says something and I don't do it, I'm betraying myself, and I'm too sober for that shit. We gotta trust ourselves. It's safe to trust yourself. It's safe to trust yourself, period. But they did indoctrinate us deeply that we can't trust ourselves. So it might be something like if you're leaving AA and you're in that process of leaving AA and you're kind of in that mind fuck, you can trust yourself. It's a journey. it takes us time. To me, the programming ran really deep in me. I got locked in really deep. I was true believer vibes. So it took me a while to unpack and to even realize what it was that I was up against, because there was no roadmap for me. There was nobody saying like, this is the process to leave AA, because no one fucking talks about it. You're supposed to stay anonymous. So a lot of us are just like anonymous outside of AA, like dealing with it, with varying levels of programming or deprogramming going on. And they literally program us to not trust ourselves, to not believe ourselves. So yeah, we build that back. We've literally got it to undo the self-betrayal and program the truth, which is we can trust ourselves. It becomes a practice. Agency is the vibe. Autonomy is the vibe. Empowered as fuck is always the vibe. And the kicker is that they made you feel like you have to stay anonymous when you leave. It's like they want you silenced. So the programmed guilt that keeps us silent runs really deep. But you get to choose for yourself. This is your life. You are in control. And despite any programming, you are powerful as fuck. You are powerful. If we can't trust ourselves, what do we even have? If we can't think for ourselves, how do we even know ourselves? If we have to live by somebody else's ideas, like Bill's or anybody's for that matter, it's like we're trapped in a matrix and we can't even see it. And it's running our whole damn life. You are courageous. It is safe to trust yourself. There's so much freedom available for you. I really believe that. I believe that there is so much freedom available for all of us. And you get to choose. By the way, I'm kind of scared to say all this, but this is me walking to the talk. This is me trusting myself. And this is me feeling the call to speak about this and speaking about it. And I go all in on my intuition now, especially after deprogramming AA. I'm like, fuck that shit. Fuck the dogma. I'm going to deprogram the dogma, trust myself. And yeah, it feels really good to be able to reclaim my voice and to not have areas of my life that I feel called to speak about that I'm not allowed to speak about because I'm obeying a group like that does have toxic traits. Also, it helped me. So there's the duality of it. There was good and there was bad. Let's be honest, it's not all good. And let's be honest, it's not all bad. But to be able to reclaim my voice and not have the rules of a system that I'm no longer in that oppress me in a way that I've liberated myself from to control me. I don't need to stay anonymous. Not if my intuition says something. My intuition is my guide. Not Bill's ideas, not society's ideas. I think we got to go by our intuition. I mean, it doesn't really matter what I think. It matters what you think. What do you think? The vibe is always trust your intuition. You can trust yourself. It is safe to trust yourself. It is safe to trust what you feel inside. If you would like some help deprogramming, I have a whole course about this. It is called Evolving After Recovery, because there is a whole evolution after leaving recovery. And I went through the dark with no map, and I've been out 5 years. I recently put all the steps together that I did that really helped me into a on-demand online course that is available for you. If you want it, I will link it in the show notes below, and it's called Evolving After Recovery. So if you want help in your walk to freedom, I'm happy to walk alongside you on this epic journey, because I will tell you that getting sober was one of the hardest things I ever did, full stop, period. But leaving recovery was even harder, which will sound bananas to some people unless you're actually in it now. I call that period after we leave recovery, like the space between being in recovery and then figuring out coming back to our power and our identity and our self-trust and all of that growth period afterwards, and mourning at the loss of our community. I mean, there's so much. The guilt, the shame, it all runs really deep. The fear that we might die, removing that fear from us and realizing that that's all nonsense. So I call that period the after recovery void. And it's very difficult, and no one talks about it. And it's a very real phenomenon. In cult psychology, it's called exit trauma. And I'm just like a chick talking to you heart to heart, right? I'm not a cult psychology expert. But when I was looking into and doing a lot of research on it, because I was scared I was going to die and I wanted to make sure that it wasn't true, I think of it like a spectrum. So because of our histories, our backgrounds, our neurology, our viewpoints, our genetics, whatever, married with how deep we got indoctrinated, how much we actually believed it all, our process leaving is going to be different. So some people are going to leave and it's not going to be traumatic at all. Some people will leave and it'll be a bit traumatic or a huge loss of community. Some people will just like pop out of it. Some people will leave and they'll not deprogram. They might not realize that there's a need to deprogram. Some people will leave and maybe they won't even need to deprogram because they never really were all in when they were in there in the first place. They thought it was hogwash the whole time. It wasn't me. I believed it all. So I needed to go through a whole entire journey on that. So if you are in the deprogramming space right now, if you've left AA and you're feeling really uncomfortable, I hear you. I'm here for you. Send me a DM on Instagram at Sobriety Bestie or on all the things anywhere. Let's have this be a conversation. You're not alone. There are a lot of us out here. It is safe to trust yourself. It is safe to trust yourself. It's not an easy journey. You are courageous fuck, courageous as fuck, and you can trust yourself and you can detox from the dogma. I'm here for you. I'll see you in the next episode.